So recording happening, and we're also on Facebook, which I'll turn on in a moment. Let us first chant our Vandanam as we do, some mini Vandanam containing everything. And in fact, we'll chant it and then read the translation just to remind us why we chant this Vandanam as we do in a short way. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuttapada Kamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vitangscha Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratvije Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So if I now come to the Zoom, let's find our songbook. So I'll read for you the translations of what we just read, because it's important. And in one verse, we've got this Vandeham Sri Guruhu, and I'll get the translation just now. Hare Krishna. Translation is, so Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj prays. So this is directly from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And this Vandanam, it is as chanted in the mat, which means as is given by Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev. So Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj prays, first I offer my respects unto the lotus feet of my initiating spiritual masters, plural, and the recruiting spiritual masters, plural, and advanced Vaishnavas, plural. Next, I offer my obeisances to my Shastra Gurus, that is Srila Rupa Goswami and his elder brother Srila Sanatan Goswami, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami and Srila Jiva Goswami. On a higher platform, I offer my respects unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came with his paraphernalia and associates, along with those great personalities, Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Advaita Acharya. And in the highest stage, I offer my obeisances unto the lotus feet of Sri Radha and Govinda, and all of the gopis headed by Lalita Devi and Vishaka Devi. And then, I mean, everything is within that verse, but then specifically giving this attention to Guru, as Guru Maharaj said, as Guru Maharaj said, every seva begins with Guru. So we are giving our obeisances and extra obeisances, if you like, with the additional verses that we chant in the Vandanam. And here is next verse, Om Ajnana Timirandasya. So the translation, and anyway, taking us from ignorance, the darkness of ignorance, but then Jnananjana Shalakshaya. Anyway, the translation is given in this order. Applying the soothing salve of Sambandha Jnana, a proper acquaintance with the environment, my spiritual master has opened my inner eye and thereby rescued me from the darkness of ignorance, fulfilling my life's aspirations. I offer my respects unto Sri Gurudev. Hare Krishna. So this is Guru giving the opening the eyes with that special sound. And then Namo Mahavaranyaya we chant. And I'm looking for Namo Mahavaranyaya because, yes, here we are. I offer my obeisances unto Lord Gauranga, whose, again, the translation is in a different order than the verse here. Anyhow, I offer my obeisances unto Lord Gauranga, whose divine complexion is a radiant golden hue, and who possesses the qualities of the most benevolent incarnation. His spiritual pastimes freely grant pure love for Lord Krishna to all. He is none other than Lord Krishna, known in the age of Kali as Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So then, Guru to Gauranga, and then Vanchakalpatarubhyascha. And where is Vanchakalpatarubhyascha? Oh, in this case, it's above. Okay. I bow down to unto the holy feet of the pure Vaishnavas, who are like desire trees, able to fulfill all the devotees' aspirations. The Lord's devotees are comparable to a vast ocean of causeless mercy, as they deliver the fallen souls from material existence. I offer all respects unto them. Hare Krishna. So actually, when we think about what we are saying, it's just a very wonderful way to start anything, to begin with such verses. And it's a wonderful way to start anything in the association of devotees. We are with you all happily this morning. Annutama, early in the morning, she's up and about in Ukraine. Sevarupa, early in the morning, up and about in South Africa. Lilamoy Prabhu in the Prasadam hall, up and about early in the morning here. And for Nadia Priya, Nadia Priya early also. She's in Ukraine, maybe already in the kitchen. She's keen servitor in the kitchen. And Dana in USA. And Anna with us. Anna, very happy that you joined us. And you've got a very big dog on your lap in your picture. So Anna, very happy to have you with us. And last but not least, we mentioned Ganga. I hope Ganga Devi, she's been with us from the first moment when we opened up our Zoom this morning. And Bimal, Krishna Prabhu and Istadevika. And to you both, we're very happy to have you with us. Today, what topic would you like to hear? Okay, we've been reading, we've been hearing. We can share some things we read and we've heard, but you've been reading, you've been hearing. So would anyone like to share something which has given them some inspiration in this last week, this last few days, yesterday morning, yesterday evening? Okay, we'll start with Lilamoy Prabhu. Okay, Bimal Krishna in a moment. But Lilamoy Prabhu, we know he's listening, etc., because he's in the program here. Okay. Often we ask, at breakfast time, at least remember something you've heard during the morning program. Okay, so now it's next morning. Something you heard yesterday, Lilamoy Prabhu, from Chaitanya Charitamrita, from Srila Guru Maharaj's amazing illumination of Upadeshamrita. We didn't read last night, but we had the Italian Zoom. So you've got lots to go to go on within the last 24 hours. So Lilamoy Prabhu, we're starting with you.
Then pranams to all of you. Yesterday I was remembering about a shloka by Krishnadas Kaviraj, one of his original Sanskrit compositions, that he says in the lines that everything that's easy becomes very hard when you forget Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And everything that is hard becomes very easy if you remember Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Then it's it's an amazing verse. I love this verse, and we have contact with these themes constantly, and it's very practical for us to always remember Mahaprabhu because to make our life easy. And how to remember Mahaprabhu is basically what we are trying to do every day, being with the devotees, trying to read the books, the scriptures, discussing beautiful verses, beautiful quotations of our masters, and yeah, basically the spiritual life is very easy for who's trying to practice and who is trying to really follow the instruction of our masters, and that's it. We shall try to just follow the instruction of our masters, and we keep going in the easy way.
So Lilamoy Prabhu just helped unload half a ton of firewood for the winter. So I'm thinking we think, oh, this will be very easy if I remember Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But we mustn't use the Lord for our, okay, I want an easy life, so I'll remember him. However, still it is motivation. I'm only speculating about what brought on this remembrance of something very difficult becomes easy when we remember the name of the Lord. Anyway, we actually have many occasions when this verse does come to our mind. So it all shows, if we really remember the name of the Lord, perhaps we wouldn't remember the verse so much because everything would be so easy. Just see. Hare Krishna. Okay, but that didn't actually touch on anything that we heard or read yesterday.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, but I don't know. It's too early. The
Okay,
brain's not working.
later in the day, we're on the west coast of America, and we've got Bimal, Krishna, and Istadevika, and they're remembering something, and they're eager sharers. And Istadevika Didi, we invite you, after Bimala Krishna says his expression, we invite you to say a few expressions too, something, maybe not what you read, but something that keeps you going, that you would like to share. So first, Bimal Krishna Prabhu.
Namdavat Maharaj. Um, we're just happy to be back, to the class with everybody here. We've been gone a few times. We're actually we just had Sri Govinda Mela down in Sokel, Seva Ashram. Ganga Lila Didi was there, as were a whole bunch of devotees. So many devotees were there, and just had a beautiful festival. We went down. We went down on a Saturday, and we just got back to our home Monday. But anyway, just a lot of beautiful activities. So many sweet devotees there doing seva. Just all the the devotees there. Hatsapriya Prabhu is like preparing for this festival for months beforehand, and with some helpers like Shwarnangi Didi there, Kalindi Didi, Krishna Priya Didi. So many sweet devotees. They're just busy doing service, getting everything prepared. Sanatani Didi cooking, preparing prasadam for all the devotees, and just really sweet. There was a real sense of Gurudev's there, his Pushpa Samadhi is there, and there's just a really sweet feeling of, you feel very close when you're there. I feel like with Srila Gurudev, Srila Janardhan Maharaj obviously is there leading the community, and Srila Avadut Maharaj also came for a couple of days, and just a lot of beautiful activities. There was we did a parikram. We carried Mahaprabhu and Giriraj up to the top of the hill, and there's a small mandir at the top of the hill, and we had a program up there and did an abhishek of Giriraj, and just beautiful, kirtan going on the whole time with all the devotees. It's a pretty steep hill too. I don't usually we dance up and then I can't walk the next 2 days because my legs are so sore, but but it's worth it. But we also had we all went on Harinam Sankirtan down on East Cliff there in Santa Cruz, and it was pretty neat too because we went when we were all finished. We went down a ways and came back, and when we were finished, we were going to the parking lot to leave, and some girl stopped and asked, she's like, what are you guys doing? Like, what is this? And I kind of explained some things to her, but she was actually out on the ocean on her surfboard, and she said it was really beautiful to hear the chanting from down, on the ocean. But anyway, just a really sweet festival, like so many beautiful devotees, giving their association, and some beautiful kirtans, and just really sweet to associate. A lot of the Salt Lake City devotees were there. Sri Gauranga Didi was there, Sudarshan Prabhu, Rai Kishori, Braja Mohini, all, pretty much all of Salt Lake City. And I do want to give you a special report on your disciples, Haridev Prabhu and Ishvarananda Prabhu. They were both there, and as soon as they got there the first night, Haridev Prabhu showed up. He's in washing pots, from the get go, and Ishvarananda too. Just anything that needed to be done, they were jumping in and helping out, and just they're trying to serve and to try to make you proud. I feel, and I kept telling them that they're doing a really great job. But anyway, they were just doing some nice seva while they were there, and just wanted to report that to you as well. But anyway, I know Istadevika probably has something to say.
Grateful to be here in the association of all the devotees on the rock to you all. Yeah, it was really beautiful. We were happy to be able to go early this year and try to do what we could to help with preparations. And it's the first year that all of our kids are big enough that I was able to step away to some programs and do a little, try to do some more seva. And I feel like along with trying to dive deeper comes challenges. And I took on, we have a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old, our two oldest. And last year, Vaidehi Norman does amazing programs for the children. We had a much larger group last year of kind of the older preteen teenage kids. And so I offered to help with that this year. And there was one day where I just thought, what was I thinking, taking on more preteens and teenagers than my own? But they were such great, respectful kids, and they really heard me when the challenges when the challenges arose and discussion had to happen. And it was just really beautiful to see the progress that they all made, even just during that 1 week, just really being immersed and with each other, and how much they love each other and each other's association. And with the diving deep and the challenges came more seva. I'm going to be trying to do like a Zoom once a month for them. And right after I asked them, is this something you're interested? Like, this is for you. So I want it to be something you want to do. And they all sounded interested. And then right after, Shwarnangi Didi came to me, and Lavanya Sundari, who helped a ton. She is like slightly older than them, but younger, more of a peer, like older sister. And she was immensely helpful and just amazing with the whole group. And she said to us, I think maybe you should do a Zoom with the team. And I said, I just talked to them about this morning, but I think that was the reaffirmation that I needed, was that, okay, this is coming to her too. And she was my biggest seva connection back when I lived there. She sews for the Didis so beautifully and devotedly, and I used to get to help sew for the small Didis when I was there. And so coming from her, it was like, okay, that's the push I need, and the accountability that I need to actually make that happen. Because I thought about it in the past, and there was some resistance in me where I was like, oh, I'll see how the Mela goes. I'm going to put that on the back burner. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to take on some more seva. And yeah, on the butts to all.
Jai, beautiful to hear it. Living report. And all the savers you describe, also helping Swanangi, helping to make the deity's clothing. Anybody who has a touch of that feel like very honored. Somehow it's a special saver there. And looking after the children, it is very valuable. If the children are not looked after, the adults, they're all taken up with like being distracted by children rather than what they're doing, focusing on their part of the program. And the other thing, children, they are the adults of the future, and they really do have to get a good grounding in what is devotional service and what is expected. And it's a little difficult when, if they don't have somebody to look to who's holding some standard of what's expected. And so in this world, they should know what is expected by Gurudev. And maybe the devotees don't always do what is expected. They may not always be the best example, but the kids need to know the gold standard of life. And sometimes I thought, if I was young, I wish I knew what I knew now when I was young. Means I was 25 when I first came to hear about or read anything about Krishna consciousness. And I really thought, well, I wish I'd heard about this 10 years ago. Or more, but 10 years ago, 15, we're pretty much, we think we've grown up, don't we, when we're 15? We know everything, I know. So anyway, it is very valuable that the children are exposed to a gold standard and that they know what is right, and to be introduced to Guru Maharaj and Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada. As Gurudev said about Srila Guru Maharaj, he said, in the future, those with the vision, the clear vision, those who are clear in their practices, in the devotional path, they will look back and they will see how grand was Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj gave all of the Goswamis and his contribution. He gave Rupa Goswami, he gave Sanatana Goswami, he gave Jiva Goswami. And Guru Maharaj gave his own light. And Guru Maharaj, he prepared Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev. He prepared that preaching field for Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Exactly what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was hoping for was manifest in this way by the continuation of what Srila Saraswati Thakur began, and that being expanded to the world under that careful preparation. Who prepared Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev was Srila Guru Maharaj. And all three of these will be seen in the devotional scripture of the future, the devotional history. They will be seen as the ones who have presented the wave of Krishna consciousness worldwide, rather than it being limited. I mean, limited is never limited, but geographically within only a relatively small area, means India, then Mahaprabhu's message was there. And of course, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur woke up the whole of India to the purity of Mahaprabhu's message. And he's the mover and shaker very strongly, the fight against Maya, the fight against illusion. And Srila Guru Maharaj was the main current of that after Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And so when the children can be introduced to who has brought life to the world in our time, in their parents' time, in their now, the next generation coming up after that wave of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. And so they've got actually the mature Krishna consciousness. They have from A to Z, or in American, A to Z. They've got the whole program from the very introduction. You can say raw introduction with the hippies and all sorts of things taking place in the Tompkinson Park, maybe, the park in New York City. From there through to the maturity under the careful guidance of Srila Guru Maharaj, as Srila Prabhupada wished. And that being presented to the world by Srila Govinda Maharaj, who was very able to mix with any kinds of persons, as was Srila Prabhupada, and to continue what Srila Prabhupada had introduced, what Srila Guru Maharaj was carefully protecting and honing, preparing those devotees who came. And Srila Gurudev continued that. And so the children, they really must get a good introduction to who are our guardians and try to help them from going astray to all kinds of gurus. And in the name of Gaudiya Vaishnavism also, we've got all sorts of cautions about going here, there, and everywhere. In the time of Guru Maharaj, in the time of Gurudev, we go to Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, and not only is it not encouraged, but they do not want us going to this temple and that temple, listening to other teachers. We've come to the shelter of the greatest teachers. They want that we will give our attention there. We'll get our nourishment. We've got the main nourishment there. So that the children can grow up knowing the greatness of our masters. And sometimes the world gets a little involved in the personalities of the personalities of this personality or that personality. But the personality is Guru Maharaj. The personality is Gurudev. The personality is Srila Prabhupada. And that will be forever. And who is coming to continue that, to continue spreading what they have given to the world, then they're showing us them. And no doubt they've got their own view, etc. But when we get caught into like a personality cult rather than what is the cult, it is the cultivation of Krishna consciousness under the guidance of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. Specifically, this is our clear current. And the children affectionately need to know about their grandparents, need to know about their parents. I mean, we're talking about spiritually, their grandparents and their parents. So to bring up the children or to expose them to the right thing, because actually, everyone can see when we are young, we also could see, you could say more or less, nonsense behind, some of these people who are the so-called sadhus coming to the West, and they're, promoting, let's be clear, promoting, intoxication with meditation, promoting, sex with meditation, promoting all these things. And we've got devotees who come from various backgrounds like this. And, it actually from the standpoint of Srila, our gurus, and it's shocking what goes on in the name of religious life. And so they need to know, we want to have a very clean awareness where there is the clean standard. What is expected by the masters? And so we may not all be the best example, but they are the best example. And to know those who've got that inkling in their heart even as children. And children, they grow up. What is given in the early ages can stay with them nicely. And I've never been a serious yoga student, by the way, of hatha yoga. But at school, there were free yoga, there were free classes. You could do other programs along with your school programs, and you could choose what to do. So one of them was yoga. And then I did it. So I thought, okay, I'll do yoga. Everyone thinks it's a good idea. So anyway, I did yoga. And in the first term, or trimester, they call in America or something, the first term, they say in English, then we had one yoga teacher. And then in the next term, we had another yoga teacher who taught differently than the first yoga teacher. Taught some things, basically a lot of things are the same. But my immediate reaction, and I'm sure that this is like psychologically what people will do, they will consider the first teacher to be right. And then immediately when the second teacher teaches you something which is different, oh, they're wrong. I know better than that. You start this way and then do that because of this reason. We were taught that. So the youngsters and everybody who's introduced to Krishna consciousness, we need to be taught right, and not that it is approved to bend the rules and not do this when we know we should do it, and not that our gurus approved these things. So the taking care of children is a big responsibility. They're our future adults. They're our future. And who knows who the children are? We must give all opportunity to everybody. But I'm just stressing how valuable it is to have some care for the children from different angles. One is from the parents' angle, to take them off their hands while they can associate with the other devotees. Otherwise, only looking after the children takes away that part. If every parent has to look after their own children, that if 2 parents or 3 parents look after 20 children, then that is very valuable. And Vaidehi, Sarvabhavana and Dikshavati's daughter, and she's a natural also. It's not a burden for her to look after the children. I think she must be remembering the name of Mahaprabhu, because what can be difficult for others, for her, is very easy to look after their children. She's an enthusiast. Hare Krishna. And Ganga Lila Didi was at the Mela, and she's now home. Is correct? You're back at home?
Yes, got back. It was a big drive. Dandavats Maharaj and everybody else, and very, very happy to see the devotees in person. And funny, I wanted to share from the Mela also. Actually, I wanted to touch on how I was impressed with the young ones. They put on a play as we were carrying Giriraj up, the parikram up via Govinda, and they put on the Govardhan Hill Leela. And Vaidehi, she picked some people. She picked also, adults to help out. So people were reading, but it's just, I felt so, I don't know the words right now, so at ease with everybody. Sometimes it's not easy when you know everybody's trying so hard and preparing, and that sometimes creates a little bit of expectation pressure or something. And that wasn't the case. It was obvious that a lot of work went into everything, but it was really overall more joyful. Like, well, we can do this happily without faking it. And a lot of ease I picked up, and yeah, I brought also my son again, and so that's also exposing somebody who doesn't really know too much about it. And I really, really, really love the times, you know, the temple room is tiny, and it really, if you just bring 10 people in there, it feels like it's full. But for some reason, you can actually bring like 80 people in there, and it's still, there's still some room. But then that particular room, I forgot about it, and then now I was reminded. The kirtan is so good. The mridanga players actually also, Bimal Krishna is a really good kirtaneya. You know, a lot of mridanga playing, kirtans, a lot of chanting, and the room starts to vibrate because everybody's jumping up and down. And then in my body, I was like, I don't even know if I already know how to jump. And before you know it, you know, people take off, we levitate, you know, and being in that, I love that so much. There's something very, very extraordinary because we do it not once, but we do it over and over again, like morning, midnight, you know, like later again, afternoon, evening program. It's just fantastic. I very elating. And yeah, and there were actually on a lot of days I had to go back to my tent in the forest, which is another part. They were talking about how we stay on the land with the trees. There was a puma there. There is birds there. There is a creek, and I actually, Hasapriya, I think, mentioned that that Gurudev was saying that it would be great if there could be a kund, because they were looking for water, and boom, it came up, and there it is, and it's ever flowing. But it would actually be something wonderful. Not yet, but you know, it's nice to hear also, oh, there is more vision to this, because it's already very beautiful, very green, and like Bhima Krishna was saying, like it's very high. You can actually, over the redwoods, you can see all the way down to the ocean unless it's foggy. And that in itself is also very precious, you know, that we can not only meet all these devotees and have all these youngsters and have everybody work so hard and you know, jump up and down, chant Hare Krishna, but that it is also so nourishing to be in nature. You know, like, and see the kids run around safe, barefoot, and play hard, you know, because that's kind of dying out. You know, people are helicoptering you know, because there's so much danger, and you know, kids don't get to run around and trust everybody. It's so nice to see, like almost like a little village. You know how it would be if we lived like that. So yes, my heart is full, feeling very nourished, and you know, and very, very beautiful. Chanting was, I think, some of my highlights, and also not just chanting the Maha Mantra, but there were some evenings I would just stay on, and we just kept singing songs from the Kirtan guide, which I have not chanted for a while. Really good, really good. Like I got some taste going here, so I'm very grateful.
Can you name one song that you
Oh, I
that
wish. Oh, I wish. Well, I wish. I like, you know, Oh Hey Vaishnava Thakur. I can grab it real quick because there were some I didn't even know the melody. Because it's been too long, you know, and I actually don't know the Maharaj name. He is Spanish speaking, and he was there, and I'm very sorry that I did not understand his name. But he kept us chatting also one evening, and it was a very small group.
Bhakti Raman Madhav Maharaj.
Thank you. Yes, and he, you know, very nice chanting, very gentle.
who is the Maharaj?
Bhakti Raman Madhav Maharaj from Mexico. He just took sannyas about 6 months ago. He's a disciple of Srila Janardhan Maharaj.
Oh, really?
What was
Almost
his
all the way back to ISKCON, possibly.
what was his name before? Because I probably know him.
I'm not too sure.
No. Okay.
Because I don't really know him, but I know I think he was a disciple of Janardhan Maharaj back in ISKCON, so for a long time. But he's spent time with Srila Ashram Maharaj in Mexico, and he was a truck driver. I don't know if that helps, but he's really sweet. Really, he was trying. He preached to me a little bit in Spanish or in English, And anyway, I don't want to take Ganga Lila's time, but yeah, he's
Okay,
really,
okay.
really sweet devotee.
Jai.
That's all news to me. That Jai, very interesting. Yeah, very gentle natured person. Kobe, Hobe Bolo, Amara Jivana, Bhajan Lalasa. Like things we really don't get to chant all the time, you know. Mika, Prabhu He Mona Durmati. So that's like a little bit more often. Varana. So and just kept turning the pages. And I think we don't do this enough, I feel. You know, we sing one song, two songs, and then that's it. And it was just like it kept going. Really, really, really good.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Very, very nice.
Yes.
And
Very, very beautiful.
the songbook has its own lila. There are hidden songs that come up. We sang also a song which is very rarely sung recently. Yes. Rasarati Devi Rasi, she's joined there, Lilamoy in the Prasadam hall here. Well done. And by the way,
And one last update. Oops, I'm sorry.
no, I was
One
just
last
meeting Rukmini Didi and Rupanuga Prabhu, others who joined us in the meantime, Sri Gauranga Prabhu. But yeah, the songbook also, it has like mysterious songs that jump out. And maybe Lilamoy can say the song we were singing maybe 3 days ago in the evening, and we were having a little difficulty with the tune. Okay, we can find it, but it really was like a hidden treasure in the songbook. Yes, Ganga Lila Didi.
and 2 initiations. Marie, she is somebody I know from the last couple of Govinda Melas, and she comes to the Sadhu Sanghas with Vishaka Didi, where I also go. She goes online, you know, and we still meet. And so she got initiated, and her name is Madhurya Lila. And Julian, a young cousin of Ananda Krishna, and he was initiated. They both were initiated by Avadut Maharaj, and his name is Jagannath Priya.
Jai. So the family is growing. There is hope
Yes.
for the future.
Yes. Yes. Jai. That's what I wanted to share.
Jai. All right, and we've got here that from Lilamoy in the chat box, Maya Durataya, page 343 in the songbook. And we looked to try to find if there was a recording somewhere, and we looked on that kirtan.site, which is very useful, and it's got kirtan led by different devotees, including Avadut Maharaj and others, so that we can get some idea of the tunes, but for some of them, not for everyone. And where just when we needed it, for Maya Durataya, then there wasn't any tune to help us along. But Kalikadamba, she did well. So one of the great strengths of coming together is kirtan. And another one, of course, is prasadam that nobody mentioned, but I'm sure that's because they're just being polite and didn't want to admit to going to the festival and feasting for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because that is certainly a memory of the Sokal ashram, that they had unlimited breakfast variety as well as quantity, unlimited variety for lunch and unlimited variety for the evening meal. And of course, kind of a new thing for me is that like the whole section for the vegan section, a whole section for the gluten intolerant section, a whole section for, I don't know what other intolerance, but this new kind of things which we'd never heard of before, but which are real, we know, very real. Then the cooks caring for the devotees, giving appropriate prasadam for the devotees. But kirtan, this is Mahaprabhu's very method of distribution, is kirtan. And everywhere we see about kirtan. When we're going through Chaitanya Charitamrita, reading it in the way we should be reading, in its devotional way, then we see kirtan continuously coming up in so many places. So, to be with the devotees, with the Mridanga and Kartal, as Mahaprabhu ordained, as Srila Saraswati Thakur, as our masters ordained. Simple kirtan with Mridanga and Kartals, and devotees with their hearts and their lungs. So beautiful. Jaya Hari Kirtan Natana Bhatana. Hare Krishna. Yes, Bimal Krishna, you're turning on your microphone.
Maharaj, I was just gonna say, Rukmini Didi, they're traveling, I think, back to Florida, I would assume, but they were also there at the Mela. Maybe she can share. They're her sweet family. So happy to see you all. We miss you all already, obviously, but maybe she can share their experience too, if that's okay.
Definitely, but are you driving or are you a passenger? A passenger, okay, then I don't like to take attention away from a driver. That's
Hola, Luis. Estoy aquí afuera.
Would you like to share in English something, Rukmini Devirasi?
From the Mela?
About anything you like to share that's in your heart. We've all come to hear from each other.
Well, I love to see my family be sharing with all the sweet devotees. It was the Mela was very sweet and it was very nice because every year we get the chance to share a little bit more and know each other. And it was very nice that I felt that my kids were opening a little bit about kirtan, and they felt very good at the festival. So we've been very happy. We feel bliss.
Jai. And what about your children?
I said Gora, Bai, and Sudevi. ¿Cuál fue su experiencia del Mela?
I think I think it was really fun.
Very good. What was your favorite part?
I think all my friends.
Good. The association of your friends
Yeah.
in doing devotional things, I'm sure. And did you learn anything?
I learned that the water is very cold.
Jai. And Krishna is the taste in water. So if ever you're very, very thirsty, and then you reach for some water or you reach some water and drink it, you can remember Krishna. We can take Krishna, we can take water for granted when it's around us. Oh, it's normal. We can take Krishna for granted. But when we really need Krishna, when we can really understand, oh yes, Krishna is amazing. And when we really need water, we can think, oh, water is amazing. So everywhere we'll try to remember. And I see the sun is setting behind you. You're traveling east, southeast to Florida.
Yes, I don't know exactly where we are, but we're going to stop tonight on Malibu at the place with Avadut Maharaj.
Oh, yes.
We're going to rest and we're going to continue tomorrow.
Do it in steps. I saw that sometimes devotees in America and in Europe, they drive like 26 hours or something, just because you can. But it's much better to break it up into 3 days or whatever, however many days it takes. And to also see where you go through to some extent. The freeway can make you a little separate from your environment.
It's going to be like around 6 days, I think.
6 days.
Yeah.
Okay, good for you. Good for you. Dandavat Rukmini and to all the family. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Oh, well, 6-day road trip. And I don't know if you're passing anywhere near Dana, but she would love to have you drop in, I know. Or we would love you to drop in on Dana. She's in North Florida somewhere. She's
Who?
explained. Dana K. She's here on the Zoom.
North Florida? That's where we live. Florida.
No, ¿qué es eso, señor?
She's in North Florida, I think. Anyway, Dana, we can chat and see whether you would like them to drop in, if it's also practical on your journey, because we're always inviting Dana, please come to the Govinda Mela. Devotees have even offered to help her financially to come, but she does have some commitments in the world, as we all have. But if devotees can drop in on her, then maybe she can also feel some of that beauty of being with the devotees, which she knows. I hope, Dana, you don't mind me mentioning these things, but we're all your well-wisher. Know that. Hare Krishna. And Rasa Rati Devi Rasi. She can share something. She's Italian. And when Italians start talking, when start sharing in Italian, they flow like the waves of Bengali Harikatha, is the Italian Harikatha. And yesterday evening, Italian Zoom is evidence of that. Just in Italian. Italian is so expressive and flowing. And she has a degree in communications, by the way, for educational communication, something like this. So Rasa Rasi Devi Rasi, it's not every back to basics we see you, but you're here today. So please flow with some English Italian. You can flow with some English, share something from your heart, whatever you may like to share without restriction.
Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat to all the devotees. And yes, maybe I can share what I was saying yesterday in the Zoom. And Maharaj asked me about the temple life and how is the life in the temple. And because I'm living in Villa Govinda from 1 year, so I arrived here the last August, so almost is 1 year. And before I was in another temple in Croatia where I spent another year before. And so he asked me how is to speak about how is the temple in the life in the temple. And my answer was that life in the temple is can look like a fairy tale, not very easy and happy, and it is very happy, but it's also difficult because in the sadhana, in the routine every day, the mind starts to speak more, to be like agitated, no, more than usual, and wants like to create some adventure or some new drama or situation to have something to be engaged in, no? And so it's very difficult and in my experience, no, almost in the beginning, I had this also desire to see again, maybe to find something outside, no, and I went outside for some weeks, and I really could say to myself, to show to myself that everything is like yeah, dry, because I can see there is some enjoyment outside, but it's really temporary, and for my experience is like useless to give time to these things. And so I came back to the temple, and now every time that I have again these things, I remember my experience when I went back, And I'm feeling very lucky that I can keep my mind here and stay here, and I consider it like a gift and very precious opportunity to stay in the temple and do service. And yeah, so I think that this Krishna consciousness is like fighting, because we are going against what is going on outside, so it's not easy, even if it looks like a fairy tale, and it's very happy and very full of feast and joy, and yeah. So this is my contribution to was my contribution so today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We had a lively, flowing Italian Zoom yesterday. In Italian, for those of you who know Italian, and for those who don't know Italian, it still is happy to be there. And we want that devotees will flow and flow. And Madhurananda Prabhu flowing, and Chinmoy Dev Prabhu in his American Italian flowing, when he can catch all the words, but he's doing very well. He knows Italian and he's American.
But I'm sorry for my English, because I know it's not perfect. It's like Italian English, so I'm sorry. It's not perfect grammatical and things. I'm sorry.
You communicated perfectly. The purpose of language is to communicate, so everything is perfect. And just like Italian, the Italian language is very sweet and living and flowing. Everyone likes the Italian accent too. It is associated with all sorts of things. The mafia. I'm sure Rasarati is not from the mafia, but Hare Krishna. Govinda, Govinda. But in Rome, they had to deal with all sorts of things, by the way. Rome was a challenge for the devotees, but when they were there, and they ran successfully from really having to rely on Krishna to get started and everything, they ran successfully. The yoga studio, which was a way to introduce people to Krishna consciousness, but became the way of funding the ashram here. And so Munindra Mohan and Krishna Kanta, they actually had to start from nothing. Munindra said, I had to read books to see what is yoga, what's the purpose of yoga. And then, starting a yoga studio, because it was considered as, the way to preach in Rome. And they were successful. But then COVID came, Krishna has his plan. And then, of course, with COVID, many places had to close down, especially that rely on the public coming together. And so they went through difficulty. But Munindra Mohan and Krishna Kanta, they say, but actually, you see, Krishna had his plan. He brought all the devotees together to give their attention on Vila Govinda. So the team, the whole of the team came together. They were all serving to Vila Govinda through the Rome branch. And by the way, anyone from Rome here? No. But Rome is waiting for a new center to come up and some steady place. And Banavi and other devotees, they do things there in Rome, but of course from their homes and in the park, etc. But the world is waiting. Every town and village, every heart is waiting to be Krishna-centered. In Rome, they call the eternal city. Well, let it live up to its name by pointing to eternity and not to death and destruction and empires of the material world. Hare Krishna. All right, dear ones, so the days will continue and we'll meet again from another location. And Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I expect we'll be in Latvia. I haven't scrutinized the itinerary, but we're going to be in the Baltic states for a short while. And we'll be meeting you from there as we did last year and the year before. They have also their retreat going on, and as well as programs in Lithuania and Estonia, but the main retreat is in Latvia near Rezegne in the forest, in a very suitable place, which would be a wonderful ashram. It would be a wonderful ashram, but an ashram needs devotees, and an ashram of that size would need some wealthy devotees because it's a big place. But devotees are the most important things. You can have a big place, but if the devotional practices, the devotional heart is not there, then why? And as Gurudev said, what will I do with buildings? What will I do with money? What will I do with people? Only if we can utilize in service, utilize for Mahaprabhu's mission, utilize for Sankirtan. That's the great wealth of coming together, the buildings and the ashrams, etc., for devotees to come together to chant in Harinama Sankirtan, to associate together, serve together, share together, prasadam together. Love for one and another is offering prasadam, receiving prasadam, opening one's mind, inquiring confidentially, offering gifts, receiving gifts. Rupa Goswami, the head of our sampradaya, really giving the highest things, and is giving us the very basis of our devotional life. So we'll meet again from the association with, direct association with others, as it were, in the Baltic states to share, and we'll be here on Zoom in the direct association of you all in your different places in the world. And safe driving for those heading home, Rukmini, Didi and family, and safe driving anyway. It's a dangerous world out there on the roads, and it's a dangerous world everywhere. Okay, it's danger at every step, so we must always chant the names of Krishna. And even if we want our difficult jobs to be simple, we should remember the names, or to be easy, we should remember the names of Gauranga. And don't blame Gauranga if we are having difficulty doing something and we are chanting Gauranga, 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 and it's still difficult. Because Gauranga is not the object of our business. He's not a painkiller for us. We have to endure the austerities in devotional service. Okay, anyway, that is a wonderful shloka and keeps on reminding us we should chant the name of Gauranga. Okay, Jai Gauranga Das Brahmachari in Australia. Everyone is fortunate to have the chance to say, oh, Jai Gauranga. Okay. All right, dear devotees, Jai Srila Gurudev, as we were pointing out earlier, Jai Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. Let us all not only teach our children, but teach ourselves and be clear in our understanding, as clear as possible, the true greatness of Gurudev, Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, and of Bhagavan Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and our Sri Rupa Nuga line. So Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Srila Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai, and Jai Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Bhaga ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, all the assembled devotees ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Brinda ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai, and Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Jai Srila BR Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai.
So please continue happily with the well wishes of each other to each other. Then as a team we can come forward. We want the team to be successful. Then all the team members will be automatically successful. Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bo.